Over the last generation, Mongolians have had to cope with many political and cultural changes. For nomadic communities and herders, their traditional way of life has been disturbed, and much of their cultural knowledge and customs have been eroded. This has contributed to degradation of the local environment and growing pressures on natural resources and the people and livestock that depend on them. Following 3 years of research funded by the Darwin Initiative, a new Nomad-driven project has been developed under the Plan Vivo Standard through a partnership between the University of Leicester and the Mongolian Society for Range Management. This project aims to help support and restore important aspects of the nomadic way of life by establishing the first Payments for Ecosystem Services program in Mongolian rangelands. It will give a valuable source of income to nomadic communities for biodiversity conservation and climate change action. Most income for herders is from their livestock, so access to natural resources is essential for their livelihoods. In recent times, many nomads have adopted a more sedentary lifestyle, moving only once or twice a year and over shorter distances. This has led to overgrazing and the degradation of the pastures. In addition, many families are keeping much larger herds, which is unsustainable and implicated in further degradation of the key resource, pasture land. Migrating herders who come from other parts of the country to be close to urban facilities and markets exacerbate these problems. Herders also have to compete with a recent increase in mining across the country. This has been linked to the loss of grazing land and the loss or the pollution of water resources. All of these problems may seem insurmountable. However, with support, traditional nomadic practices can offer much to alleviate these pressures. The project gives voice to the nomadic communities and to the ways that nature is respected and valued. It aims to enable these herder groups to alleviate pressure on local environments, to enhance biodiversity, combat growing rural poverty, and to play a part in reducing carbon levels. To achieve this, herders are being encouraged to have fewer livestock and to move more often. This gives pastures the opportunity to recover from grazing and creates less competition for the natural wildlife. To encourage and promote the balance of local ecosystems, like the Saxual forests in the Gobi Desert region, herders will work with local authorities to reduce cutting for fuel and to stop illegal hunting of Mongolia's important wildlife. These communities, organised through traditional groups called hesegs, are also planting seedlings to compensate for the demands on woodland and to increase soil carbon stocks. Through the sale of Plan Vivo's triple benefit certificates, local herders are financially compensated for preserving their local environment through traditional nomadic practices. The project will also develop new sources of income by encouraging herders to strengthen the collective heseg. By pooling resources and skills, these collectives are able to sell finished products rather than raw materials and fetch higher prices. This project is improving livelihoods by facilitating access to carbon and ecosystem finance based on nomadic communities' actions on climate change. This encourages local policymakers and communities to think and act more sustainably. It is also giving Mongolians specific tools they need to reach international biodiversity commitments that are presently not being met. Through the sale of their Plan Vivo certificates and expansion of their project into more hesegs, these nomadic communities have the chance to not just survive, but thrive in the modern age.